Good morning, my neighbours!
What is up, you sexy mother hubbards? It's Sunday. There's so much going on in the world, so let's get into it. It's time for an alternative paper review. First up to the Sun on Sunday. Strictly stars in Summit on Geo? Okay, let's move on to the next one, shall we? The Sunday People says, I'll get clean for you, Patsy. No, let's keep going. Over to the Star. Men who wear old school Y fronts make the best lovers, apparently. Oh, that's a hell of a scoop and totally worthy of the front page of a Sunday newspaper. I mean, you expect more, don't you, from the Sunday papers? You expect a sort of an expose, you know, somebody's been caught doing something corrupt or caught on a video or a hot mic and exposed or so. Or like if we're in the tabloids realm, maybe something titillating, right? Something that's sort of, you know, amusing you, but maybe turning you on slightly. Ah, well, say no more, because over here the Mail on Sunday is saying, devastating polls. Tories are heading for biggest defeat ever. That's certainly a step in the right direction. I mean, I really don't know why they are delaying the election, and indeed the inevitable at this point. But they must be hoping that something's gonna blow up in Labour over the next 2 or 3 months. Is that the plan? You know, like Starmer's going to be outed as a Nazi. Maybe Yvette Cooper and Emily Thornberry are found to have taken a donation from a horrendous racist who hates one black person so much that they want to use them as an example for reasons to hate all black people and say that that one black person should be shot. Because that would probably do some damage to the poll lead, although it would be a little hard for the Tories to throw stones in that regard, wouldn't it? Over to the Express now. Farage plots Sunak's demise. Brexit champions return will add to PM's election woes. Is he coming back now, is he? Wow. Okay, so two things with this. First, this is the front page of the Express. And so you always have to take it with well, not so much a pinch, a couple of spoonfuls of salt. But might I be so bold as to draw your attention over to this pinned tweet, top of my profile from a couple of weeks ago. Farage is going to return as Reform leader, and it will be to much fanfare. It's going to happen right at the beginning of the GE campaigns when they kick off in earnest, and it will be reported by the press like it's the second coming of Jesus or some shit. Which means, look, I don't want to spend this whole video celebrating myself. But yeah, how many times do I have to be proven right and prescient before you lot book me for your panels? You motherfuckers. Right, well, we were going to book you for our panels on Good Morning Britain, Talk TV, LBC. All right, okay, and what happened? Well, then you started making videos where you're wearing a t-shirt that says Tories fuck livestock. Over to the Observer now. Tories slam bonkers plot to topple Sunak as chaos mounts. This is a story, obviously, that the Tories are encircling, aren't they? They're scavengers, they're vultures, they're Machiavellian sociopaths, and Sunak is so far down in both his own personal approval rating, but also, you know, leading the Conservative Party, who are now down to 18%. Well, this is the story, along with the Telegraph here, that we're very much approaching knives out territory now. The problem that the Conservative Party have, really, is that they're trying to push a narrative, rhetoric, policy ideas that basically nobody is interested in or concerned about. You know, like if you actually asked your friends, your family, relatives, people you work with, what their main concerns are politically at the moment, what would they say? They would say the cost of living crisis, right? Their bills have soared. They would say the housing crisis, their son or daughter cannot hope to get on the ladder. The NHS, they can't get a place for their grandparents in social care, or the nearest one that they can get to is like 70 miles away, and then they can't get there to support them or go and visit them 2-3 days a week. These are the problems that real people are facing, that they're desperate for solutions for. But what are the Conservative Party babbling on about? Like whichever major sort of figurehead or aspiring leader, what are they actually babbling on about day in, day out? It's diggies and trans kids and inheritance tax, and we must ban these mobile phones from school children. It's hate marches and small boats, you know? It's like, I've never seen somebody so determined to remove themselves from the cultural conversation as the Conservative Party are since Naomi Campbell released that solo album. Oh yeah, and it was shit. Elsewhere on the Telegraph, scan down a little bit, Britain should use conscription to deter Russia. urges NATO ally. And this is, of course, the latest dose of conservative Britain's attempt to soft lobby PR us all into thinking that the draft is actually like it's going to happen, or it's okay that it's happening. Like if they'd published something like a year ago, right? They'd said the draft is happening, you report to this place. Everyone would have gone, no, well, I'm not doing that. But if they just pepper the front pages with it once a month and then once every 3 weeks, now they got this story. This time it's Latvia saying Britain should consider national service. Yeah, of course they should. I suppose where this is headed is eventually they will announce the return of national service. And by that point, it would have fermented in your mind and you'll be like, well, yeah, I think we all thought this is where it was headed, didn't we? Yeah. This is why I just laugh at people who suggest we don't need tighter press regulation. Because this could end up being a perfect example of why we need it. You know, we're being slowly frog-boiled into accepting that we have to be sent to our deaths.